Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to chapter 2. So for the first chapter, we had covered all the basics, and in chapter 2 we're going to jump into how exterior rendering should take place. So let's get straight to it. For this we're going to be selecting the plane landscape again over here, and we'll be going to objects, which is our fourth primary command. We'll get into imports and import new model. The Lumion folder, in that you have your exterior render.dae and exterior render SketchUp model. Now once you guys are done creating your SketchUp model, you all will export that model to a .dae file, which is your Collada file. And you will be having a file like this over here. That file, and click on open. And the next thing we're going to do is give a name for it. Let's give it ext, and we'll be clicking on this add to library button. Now once you guys have loaded up the file, you will notice that the file comes like this, like a yellow box, and we have a placer over here. So I'll just go ahead and place this button over here, and you can see that that's going to be our model, which we're going to get into the exterior rendering for. So you can see around the model as well, we have provided a couple of blocks. Each of these blocks are going to act like imaginary buildings just to create an environment. On the other hand, you can even see that the entire model is flickering. So what we're going to do is we're going to just raise the entire model up by changing its height. And you can see this little circle that we have, and I told you we'll have those for every single object. We're going to hold it and bring it a little up. Now we'll go back near the model. Now we're going to directly jump into the material editing, because we have now placed the model in the place that we need. So to get into the material editing, we're going to be using the third command over here, the materials tab. Now as you can see, once I select the materials tab and I come on any material, it kind of turns green color. That means that that material has not been provided Lumion materials yet. So I can just go ahead and select any one. So let's start with this material over here. And you see that we have a material library. Now the material library consists of various different tabs as well. So we have the nature tab, indoor tab, outdoor tab, and custom tab. I'm going to run you through each of these tabs right now. So the nature tab basically contains all natural materials from grass, rocks, soil, water, waterfall, woodland, etc. And each of these have their own libraries, and the same goes for the indoor, outdoor, and custom. Well, custom does not have its own library, but yes, it has different palettes like color, glass, landscape. But let's get into the indoor and outdoor now. So the indoor gets fabric, glass, leather, metal, plaster, wood, tiles, stone, and plastics. And the outdoor has bricks, concrete, glass, metal, plaster, asphalt, wood, stone, and roofing. Now we're going to be getting to the editing part, and you'll be understanding what each material is good for. So let's start up right now. So I'm going to select this material and get to the outdoor part, and we're going to be giving it a concrete texture. So I'll just go to the library number 2, and I'll just give this texture to it. So it's got these lines in it, so you can see the grains very well over here. And we're not going to be editing the materials first. What we'll be doing is we'll be covering the entire building up with materials of Lumion. Once we are done with that, we'll get into the material editing for each and every part. Now, whenever you guys forget what the steps are for rendering, please go through the course work that I have written down all these steps as well in the coursework. So you guys can just go through that. Now for the second material, I'm going to again go ahead and select concrete, and over here we'll be giving a little darker concrete, so we have a shade, and as well we will be giving a concrete texture in this too. So I'll just change the color out here, like a little smoother concrete over here. Yeah, it doesn't look that smooth, but I can go ahead and give I think even this is good because it gives the white and the gray finishes, and then we have the red jali, so that will kind of bring it out. That's good. Now we'll be going to metal as well, so that's going to be the railing, and over here we'll go to the outdoor metals because we want a little tough metal, so we'll get good outdoor metals over here. And I guess this light metal is also bringing out the entire building, since we've got red in the bricks and red in the jali. So we'll just go ahead over here and select the bricks, and we can go to outdoor, go to bricks itself and find a similar looking brick. So I guess that's nice. Then we have got the frame over here for the windows. Now when we're working with windows, even though they are exterior, but in the end of the day they are also on the interior, and I think interior is good for this because they've got good aluminium and chrome finishings as well. So I'm going to be giving an aluminium frame. Later on we'll turn it to a little darker color, and I'll be giving the chrome metal to this, as well as indoor I'll give it indoor glass, so I'll give it an indoor dark glass like that. Now don't forget that once you guys are even done a bit, always keep saving it. So don't click on the cross, because then all the materials will just vanish away and you'll have to do the entire procedure again. You can just click on save. So we have saved as much as we have done now, and then we'll get into the jali work over here. So I'll select the jali. I'll go to the outdoor because I've got good metal color, red color over here, so I can just go ahead and select that. Yeah, that looks nice. Now you can see that there are not a lot of materials in the exterior, but we still need to give it the proper finishes. So you can see now that you have the entire white color, which is going to be like paint everywhere, so we can just go ahead and select that. Now I'm not going to give it paint because I don't want that just bland white color, which I can by just selecting color and giving it a white finish over here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and you can see now we have already given it white color. If you guys want to change your materials ever, just click on the big material library sign over here, which will take you back to the material library. I'll go to the indoor materials, and over here I'll select plaster. Why have I done this is because in the indoor materials you have certain plasters. You can see the little finish on the top. I like this a lot, and we can turn it to white color later on as well. So it will become bright. The building will start standing out. Right now you can see it's very dark, but we'll give it the color and it will start turning out. Now you guys can see the pink color over here. Now the pink is basically going to be for the lights. So we're going to actually be creating a shade over here for the light. And you can see this material as well. So now I want to give this material, as you can see it's a flickering. Maybe there were two separate materials placed over on the model itself. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and give it the same material that we have given it the entire building anyway itself. We can just go ahead and check. Okay, that's not an issue. Since the flickering is continuing, we can do a flicker reduction later on, which will kind of set the entire building. But now you can see how the building is looking. Well, actually, even though it's gray, it's not looking that bad, but still we'll kind of get to the white color later on. Now we have the tiles on the roof, so we'll need to get into those as well. So I'll just be selecting that and going to the indoor tiles over here, because we'll get proper flooring tiles. As you can see, that looks nice. And we can even go ahead and change the door. Now for the door, it would be good to select the wood from the outdoor box, because we won't have the indoor flooring type wood throughout the entire material palette. And the last are these columns. The columns I'm going to select, and I'm going to again give them indoor plaster. So we'll change the color maybe to white or a little gray, or we'll see what we'll do with it in the editing later on. Now once we're done with that, you can see most of the building is done. We'll get to the lighting later, which is basically all these pink elements. I told you we'll get to that later. For now we'll just go ahead and select all these other materials out here. So those are the compound walls and all of that. So we'll select the outdoor. Here I'll select stone, and maybe we can get some nice big stone paving over here. Yeah, that looks neat. So we can even go ahead and change this same one to stone, and we've got the metal detail over here, so we'll go ahead and select that and give it the metal detail as well. So these look nice. Yeah. Now once we're done with this, we have got some of the outdoor pavement, so we can go ahead and select this. And For the pavement, of course, we'll go back to stone, and you've got pavement stone, so we can go ahead and put that over here. And for the road, we need to use asphalt. That's kind of what the road is for, and I'll be giving that also a shade of. Now we can go ahead and we can actually even go with the gray color, I feel, over here, rather than giving it black, because that's just going to make it too dark, the entire view. Right, so I guess we're done with this. Now for the grass texture out here, right, so as you guys must have noticed that we have the nature tab. Let's say I put any grass texture over here. Yeah, let's say I go ahead and kind of just put this grass texture. Again, you see the grass is flat over here. It doesn't need to be necessarily flat, because we can actually make it 3D, and the way to do that is by clicking on custom and giving it landscape. So once you give it landscape, this is actually the landscape which is on the primary option 2. So I'll just save it here, and I'll go back to the primary option 2, as you guys remember. And over here we can go to grass, and I can switch this on, and you'll start to see how the grass turns 3D. So this is a very good point to note over here, because this detail actually brings the model out, because you have the 3D grass over here. Again, we'll kind of change this grass. Now we'll go back to the materials, and we'll do the same thing for this grass. We'll give it landscape. We'll kind of stick with the landscape grass over here. I mean, you guys can go ahead and try the 2D grass, but preferably that again does not look that real, because it's flat. Okay, so I think we're done with most of the material editing. What I want you guys to do is, let's go back here. I guess this is left. So we'll change this again to pavement stones. So we can even select a different kind of stoning here, since it's like a little landscaped area. So that looks nice. And even for the pathway within the building, we'll go ahead and select a pavement stone. Let's see what we've got over here. Okay, even I think something like that would also kind of favor it, give it a little color, yellow. Now once we're done with this, we have the building blocks on all the other sides. What I want you guys to do is select the building blocks, select indoor, and give it the first interior glass over here. Now the reason I give it interior glass is because I don't want it to highlight my building too much. So we can just let the interior glass kind of be, you know. Yeah. Okay. Now we're done with the first phase, which is basically providing material specifications throughout the entire object. In topic 2, we're going to see how to actually get into the material editing. So I want you guys to just go ahead, rewind the video, kind of see what I've done, and just kind of create your own material setting as well. And then we'll get into the material editing. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next topic. Take care.